Hi guys, welcome back to my second part of the PL-300 question paper series. So it's a second part. If you haven't checked out the first part, just watch. And now the second part, let's begin. The first question is, you have a Power BI data model that contains the following three tables. First one, sales, data and product. The sales table is related to the data and product table by using the many to one relationship. The sales table contain a column name total sales amount. You need to create the measure name total sales that can be used to visualize the aggregate total sales amount by the product or by the date. So what should you use? So let's see the some of the options. First one is all. It is not we use, right? All we don't use. And calculate, it is not the function of calculate kind of. And max, we don't use max. To aggregate all the things, we use the sum function. Okay, so the answer D is correct. Now you can see here there is date, sales and sales. Here is the fact table that has many rows and columns, and other thing is column. And to do the sum aggregate, you have to use the sum function. Okay, now second question, you have a Power BI data model that contains the table name contact, right? In contact contains the following text column: name, email, phone, subscribe to newsletter, right? All columns use the text data types. The phone number contain the area code, number and the country code. The subscribe to the newsletter column contain the value of true or false. Okay, the subscribed to newsletter column contain the value of true and false. You need to minimize the size of the data model by changing a column data types. The solution must prevent data loss. What should you use? So here we can change the first option. We can change the phone to a decimal data types. No, it is not that relevant. This one, change the phone to a whole number. It is also not necessary. Change the subscribe to a newsletter to a binary type. No, it's binary type is not given. But the last, the newsletter, right, to a true and false data types. If we do this thing, we can save the space. Okay, the answer is D. You can see here, this is the newsletter. We just change this into the true false. Now it is kind of optimized. Okay. Now question number 13. You are creating a Power BI data model that contains the sales for the last 5 years. The size of the model is 950 MB. The sales table contains the 5 million rows. You need to minimize the model size and perform the following analysis: current and one previous year sales for all the active product. Current year sales by the product category. What should you do? So there is a big model. The file size is 950 MB. Now you have to reduce the size or minimize the model size to analyze the current and one previous year sales. Current and previous year sales for all active product, right? So what you can do, you can see this thing, remove the product status column. No, if you remove this thing, the all the file will go on, the data is not well protected. Remove the rows that related to the inactive product. No, that is not also needed. Remove the rows that related to the sales that occur more than 2 years earlier. Yeah, we can do this thing because we just want the right analyze the current and one previous year sales. So only 2 year sales data needed, and apart from that we can remove, so we get to see this thing. Okay, the answer C is correct. Now 14 number, you have a Power BI data model that contains the sensors data from 500 sensors that returns the temperature reading each minute. Okay, now you Your reporting requirement include the calculation and display the average temperature for each sensor at every hour. Okay, every hour sensor uh, like report the reports. The report do not shows rows data for each minute. Okay, you need to reduce the size of the model to improve the performance. What should you do? So you have sensor 500 sensor, each minute they generate the kind of reading, but the report is generated in 1 hour, and you have to calculate average temperature for each sensor for at every hour. Okay, so what we can do, add a report filter for hours column, create the visual that group the data by hour, remove the row that contain the reading, use Power Query to group the sensor data by hour. Okay, this option D is correct. You can group the data by hours. Okay, so you can get the efficient data like this one. This is the reading. If you group that hour, aggregate this thing, much fewer is smaller. Okay, this way you can do date, hour, 1 hour, average this one, this way. Okay, you can see this thing. Now question number 15, you need to modify a column chart. The solution must ensure that the total for each bar is shown above column. What should you enable? So suppose you have kind of table where you have to calculate, or we have to show bars chart, okay, for above column. So we have to enable some kind of things. Is it title X, Y? No, there is not, but data labels. If you enable this, you can see the above. Okay, this way. Now question number 16, if you plan to use the Power BI report visual to display the sales value that changes over time, you need to identify a visual to use. The solution must clearly illustrate the changes of the sales value over time. Which visualization type should you identify? So now you have the Power BI visual report display the changes over time. You need to identify the visualization. The solution must clearly illustrate the changes of the cell. So for that we use like trend kind of chart, like donut chart. Donut means like the circle and there is in between hole. That is not a funnel. Funnel it is also not needed. Pie chart it is not needed. We have to use the column chart. Okay, column chart is the answer. So one thing, or whenever there is trend, you have to use the column chart, this kind of a line chart. Okay, this is the that chart. Now question number 17, you are creating a visualization in a Power BI report. You need to recommend which visualization to use in the report to perform the quick comparison of the current quarter and sales by country. Which visualization do you use? Okay, so for that, gauge chart no, matrix no, we can use scatter chart, we can use the column chart, right? Again, this is the column chart. Basically you have the US has this much, Canada has, Germany has, India has this much, so you can compare the data by looking at this. Now the next question number 18, you need to create a sales report in Power BI that meets the following requirement. Must display the data in the table with the headers and the footers, must printed all the data in the report, must allow to select the region which is in the parameter. What should you use? So for that we have to display the tables, headers and footers must, right, to print it. Create the pigmented report with a table, create the scorecard card, create an interactive report with the matrix, create the interactive report with table. So the answer is this one, create a paginated report with the table. Okay, if you create this one, you can would show that header and table, like here headers and footers are also there. Okay, and all the things you have to puginated report Power BI builder. You will get that option. Now question number 19. You have a report that contain the bar chart and a pie chart, and the interaction uses the default setting. You need to ensure that when you are selecting a bar chart, the pie chart redraws showing only the data related to the bar. You enable the edit interaction. What should you do? Okay, so you have report that contain the bar chart and a pie chart, both chart. The interaction uses the default setting. You need to ensure that when you are selecting bar chart, the pie chart redraws, so only the data related to the bar chart enables and interact. What do you should you do? So it's very easy. Select the pie chart and set the bar chart into interactive field. Select the pie chart and set the bar chart into the interaction to none. Select the bar chart and set the pie chart into interaction. So option C is the correct. With the select the bar chart, if you select the bar chart, they set the pie chart in the interaction to filter. This filter is important. You can see here. So whenever you are selecting like this one, all other parts will go on, and it is only showing this part only, highlighting this part. Pie chart shows the only data for selecting bar chart. Okay? If you selecting here, it is only selecting this much, other goes dull. Now the last question. You have a report that has the three overlaps visual: a bar chart, a line chart, and a card. You need to modify the report to meet the following requirement. The card must render above the line chart. The line chart must render above the bar chart. What settings should you modify? So the requirement is that you have to render all the things. The card must render above the line, and line chart must render above the bar chart. So first one is line chart, bar chart, and card chart. Okay, so you can use the layer order to set all the values easily. Okay, now there is this is that option. The first one is card, line chart, bar chart. If you select this one, you can see all the values. Okay, thank you. Thank you for watching this video. If you have the further query, and if you want the next part, be commented, and I will make sure to create that one as well. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Bye.